And Dr. Sneha Garkar ma'am, she is a renowned pediatrician in GWALIOR and the director of Ankur Bal Chikitsalaya, and she has very keen introduce something about herself. Please ma'am.
And kindly conference in actually done in Madhya Pradesh. It is sensitization for the MP teachers. It was very essential, and I think Dr. Ajay is able to do that. I invite Dr. Purushottam. He is MP pediatrician.
Learning. Without knowing actually how the learning happens. So this is where I just wanted to show some throw some insights how actually the learning happens, and probably we can implement the same thing in teaching our undergraduates and postgraduates. So our brains renew themselves throughout life to an extent. Challenges and so many experiences during lifetime, where our brain will be in a constant dynamic changes. How it happens? Let's see in a couple of minutes. So this is my overlay of my talk. So we will be having under these headings. So actually the brain, the learning and memory is actually interconnected. So whatever the learning is happening, that will be kind of automated, and it will be kind of installed in the brain as a working memory. Way back in 19th centuries, Raman White et al. He has done an experiment where he said that neurons are discrete cells, but they are interconnected. But many of their colleagues said that so neurons that find together will wire together. So there is something called over a period of time as the development occurs, the synaptogenesis will occur, and there will be new brain connections will happen, and this is how we will kind of learn new things. So what is education? Education requires a holistic approach that incorporates brain, emotional, mental and cultural dimensions, fostering the development and adaptation to the environment. So what is neuroscience? This is a scientific study of the nervous system focusing on how the brain develops, cognitions, memory and learning. All are interconnected. So what is pedagogy? So the art and science of teaching encompasses how we are going to teach together to have a consolidated memories. So neuroeducation aims to design strategies that align with brain's natural mechanisms, optimizing teaching methods and fostering more meaningful learning experience studies, and they have put across some of the principles of neuroeducation on how the learning and memory on this works. These are some of the principles of neuroeducation. So brain plasticity enables learning and individuals' adaptive capability to the environment. So learning will happen by default, by genetics, by environmental challenges we are facing, and how the kind of brain changes over a period of time. So every brain is uniquely and unrepeatedly organized. So our brains change and are unique. Brain development is influenced by both genetic as well as environment factors. Learning is a developmental process. Since birth to death, so brain will be constantly changing its neuronal connections, so that learning proposal should form from simple and concrete to abstract and complex. The brain learns through patterns. It occurs through both innate and acquired patterns. Simultaneously, each brain perceives, creates own as well as parts. Learning always involves conscious and unconscious processes. The brain's capacity for storing information is very much unlimited, and it's malleable. We can learn things, we can unlearn things, and it's contextualized. The brain establishes rules for learning through various pathways and styles. So brain learns through patterns. Learning involves focused and peripheral attentions. Now in the learning process, we'll see how it is going to influence. So definitely brain needs nutrition, experience on brain function and learning. So how the brain changes? There is something called as neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is how the brain has a mind on its own. There is two types of neuroplasticity, where it is structural and functional neuroplasticity. Structural neuroplasticity means ability of the brain to physically change brain structure due to learning and experience. So we will be learning so many things, we will be exposed to so many challenges. As and when the new challenges are faced, there will be structural changes in the brain in the form of synapses, interconnections will be developed, and exponentially, probably that is where the structural neuroplasticity come into play. And more synaptic connections are remodeling for brain disinfection of injuries. So as we know that as neural damage happens, so there will not be formation of the neurons, but definitely there is something, some functions can be retained over a period of time. So the brain's remarkable ability to change, adapt and reorganize itself throughout life in response to experience, learning, injury or environmental changes. So that is per neuron by the age of 3. And just by exposing ourselves to new challenges, probably these synaptic connections may be increased so that our brain can function at a higher IQ level. This has been discussed. Rotary functions to healthy regions. This is how we can, after the stroke rehabilitations, how the stroke rehabilitation expose the children to many languages in the early part of the life. They will be having, they can acquire the knowledge in a most faster way than adults. So how can we boost the neuroplasticity? Research shows that we can actively enhance brain plasticity to continuous learning and novelty. The brain should be exposed to new challenges and meditations, healthy diets and social engagement. It should be socially exposed to socialize ourselves, so that definitely it will have some role in neuroplasticity. And there's something called as cognitive load theory, wherein so we cannot never overload our brain too much. So this will cause the kind of panic to the brain, and it will not able to consolidate more memories. So here we have the new information. External unnecessary and distracting info which is given to the brain, and germane load is linking new info to the correct information. This is actually how the brain works. So whenever the incoming information is there, so because of various stimulations, so sensory memory will be activated. Later on, it is transmitted into working memory. Mainly the hippocampus will play a major role as the working memory, and this working memory has a limited capacity. It's a limited hard disk drive, so that it will be doing some after working memory. It is gone into working memory. It sometimes rehearsals we can kind of tell you the coming slides. So intrinsic load refers to inherent difficulty in processing information regardless of how it is presented. And external load refers to where information is presented, how easy or difficult it is given for a learner to process it. Germane load refers to efforts needed loads which is coming under the heading of cognitive load theories. So how to reduce this cognitive load? Under the heading of coherence principle, there is something called as the signaling principle, the redundancy principle, spatial contiguity and temporal contiguity. So what is meant by coherence principle? It refers to the idea that learning material should be clear, it should be focused and free from unnecessary information. The information should not be too much crowded, so that it is very difficult for us to kind of grasp it. So the prefrontal cortex, as I told you, working memory, the prefrontal cortex is the one that includes irrelevant sounds or images or details that will overload the brain working memories, and that will reduce the comprehension. So clear, well-organized materials allow the hippocampus and association areas to encode information more efficiently, promoting neuroplastic changes. So stimulate the working areas and memories can be consolidated. Some of the examples where we can concentrate with respect to coherence, pictures and animations and background music is too much of crowded slide. Probably child may not be able to grasp those things. So for a good coherence, you just write a water cycle with a small brief explanation so that you can be able to grasp those things more efficiently. And the teacher telling stories unrelated to the main lesson. You are not supposed to divert the topics. We just concentrate on the particular topic itself. It should not be kind of diverting, but irrelevant emerges sounds or text. Keep lessons focused on learning objectives. Use consistent and meaningful visuals. Place information logically and sequentially so that you will have some visual memories kind of thing. And support attention with singlings. So you highlight the important points so that you can grasp it and you can recollect it later on. So what is signaling principle? It's like highlighting the main information which is definitely required for a particular topic and draw attention to it. And it applies to both the spoken as well as written information. And if you want in a spoken study, you can overload the student so that he'll over a period of time probably not be able to kind of remember things. So hence information should be presented clearly as well as efficiently. This is very, very important. So to eliminate the redundancy, you draw a diagram with the brief labels. Okay, well, it's a bad practice of redundancy. The diagram, you will be having long text, and teacher reading the same text probably over a period of time will not be able to connect the things. And in pediatric growth chart explanation also, the chart, growth chart will be there. You will be having a chart with short explanations and brief explanations. Child can be understandable. With the same thing with the chart with the identical thing improves when the information is placed close together rather than scattered or separated in place. So information should be placed close together so that you will learn it. Some of the examples of spatial contiguity is, so it increases high cognitive load. So diagram of the heart on one side and labels of the, you should have a diagram with labels directly next to the structures. So you can able to appreciate that. And the pediatric dose table plus notes on the other page. So it's having a poor design. So instead of that, we can do it dose table plus notes inline or footnotes. One more example is X-ray of the chest explaining bullets far right. Instead of that, we just do X-rays with arrows and short captions near each finding, so that you can be able to grasp things in a much better way. Link related concepts together without leaving significant gaps. So narrate as an algorithm or video plays. So we are going to explain the resuscitation steps, patients, and over a period of time, all the steps of resuscitation has been short. Then we can explain this. Child may not be able to grasp it in a better way. Instead of that, you play a video, pause in between, explain the steps. Later on, after each and every step, you keep on explaining. Probably you'll be in a better position to kind of grasp the things. And as well as teaching verbals also. We can play an audio or show phonogram together. So that instead of making the student learn a real patient, you can use phonoaudio where you can learn the things in a much more better way and you can recall it in a much more better way. And also clinical case studies, relevant clinical findings as you discuss them. So you discuss in discretely you are supposed to give the information rather than giving it as a whole. So that this temporal cognitive continuity can be improved and you will not be giving too much of load to our working memories. And emotions and learning, definitely emotions and learning definitely play because emotional engagement activates the limbic system and definitely the stress will be having the same structure of the brain. So that is the reason why when we are in a stress or in an anxiety, we will not be able to recollect the things and will not be able to recall the things. So that is the reason why when the slow and clinical judgment and case-based pediatric scenarios with empathy. So they take observation and simulation. That is the reason why probably NMC has kind of we are supposed to kind of observe some procedures. We are supposed to do some procedures. That is how we can improve our skills over a period of time. So observational learning reduces into procedures we are doing, and how can I be doing when I will be doing that procedures? We will be reacting ourselves. So probably that is where this conservation of the memory will occur. The working memory will be stimulated. That is how over talks helps organize schemas. So leads to modality, effect and continuity. Seeing plus hearing expert actions act consolidate. So sleep and concentration. Definitely sleep has role in strengthening our memory pathways. It consistently shares the sleep post learning helps to promote lasting functional and structural changes in neuronal networks. How can we apply this neuroscience to pediatric pedagogies? These are some of the areas by which we can kind of improve our performance in undergraduate as well as postgraduates. So neuroplasticity, so spiral curriculum, revisiting childhood topics at increasing complexity levels. So give the simple task first over a period of time gradually increase to more complexity levels. And use of micro learning and interactive case-based discussions will definitely play a role in improving the efficiencies and even emotional learning. So make them learn in a more calm environment so that he will retain in a much more better ways. And positive feedback mechanism should be given. Whenever the mechanisms should be given, and they should be recognized in a positive way so that he will give more attention in learning later on. And we should always involve in collaborative learning and peer teaching and team-based case discussions. These are some of the key powers. So 2 slides about student. Teacher will just come in the class, he will do the board teaching or audiovisual teachings, and he will just engage the class and he will just move on. Whereas in a flipped classroom, it is other way around. Wherein before the student comes to the class, the literature will be given to the student. He will be studying in his respective homes and applying the concept with guidance, and later on he will be attending the lecture. So in this, there have been various studies which have shown that the retention and recall is very much more if you use this flipped classroom method that can be used. So it is through active learning, it's a personalized learning. Definitely technology plays a major role in the current times. So active learning. So encourage students to actively participate in discussions, problem solving, hands-on activities. Definitely promotes deeper understanding and retention of information. The instructional methods, the content, and sometimes the learning goals are fast graspers, fast learners, some are poor learners, poor graspers. So we are supposed to individualize learners' needs, strengths and interests so that we can improve. How can it be done? What is the personalized reading benefits? It can increase engagement because learners are working on things that are better way. And definitely it can improve retention and mastery. Since students are not forced to move on before they are ready, which is better areas and poorer areas, and they can concentrate on those things and they can improve over a period of time. And definitely promotes learner agencies, giving students more control over learning, which supports motivation and self-regulations. So individual learning plans can be given, adaptive learning software, and a flexible scheduling. So students are allowed to learn at different times, places, and different formats. Where they can see the videos, they can see the literatures, they can see the play. So students should move forward only when they have mastered correct content. So give a topic, only when the particular topic is been excelled, then only we can move to the next class. Then this is how it's called as mastery-based progression that can be inculcated. And ongoing data and feedback. This is very, very important. As and when the particular topic is given, when the students kind of revert back, you just give them what are the things, good practice, or what are the good things they have done, and what are the things to improve. Please give positive feedback so that we can improve. And feedback, I told you this feedback you are supposed to give. And mindfulness, so stress reduction definitely plays a role. So it can improve attention, focus, overall well-being, facilitating better learning outcomes. And technology definitely plays a role. And artificial intelligence has come in a long way. Probably various platforms can be used intermittently so the learning can be done by using the technologies. So outcome of the neuroeducation. By inculcating all this is definitely we can improve academic performance, we can increase the motivation and engagement of the students, and personalized teaching can be done. These are some of the comparisons. Probably I will be skipping these slides. It has been already discussed also. So what is the take-home message? So design teaching around how students' brain actually learn, and encourage active participation instead of passive note making, and build safe, supportive environment, and include feedback loops to reinforce correct neural pathways. Coming to conclusions, neuroeducation offers valuable insights in how the brain learns and processes information, informing effectively teaching practices and optimizing learning strategies. By integrating neuroscience with education, we as educators can tailor instructions to individual needs, foster a supportive learning environment, and enhance overall academic success. Embracing neuroeducation principle has the potential to transform educational outcomes and prepare students for lifelong learning in a rapidly evolving world. So, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Purushottam, for giving such a beautifully structured lecture on the increasing capacity of the brain of a student. And equally, you have given importance for the relaxation techniques and capacities building for the brain development. It's a really good thing to keep a balance because brain has got immense, tremendous potential, and how beautifully you are using it for the memory and education that has been told in a very, very simplified and clear manner. What he wanted to say, he has shown in his lecture that how it can be managed. And there is importance of sleep, exercise, good environment and stress reducing measures. So teaching has to be done in that way, non-threatening way, in a friendly manner, but it should be proper and clear messages should be given. Like teaching your flipping technique you are taking, we are doing it like pre-test, then workshop, post-test, feedback, simulation studies, that it is all incorporated nowadays in the teaching methods. So we are following it and we will take care that what messages you have given for more neuroplasticity of brain and taking more benefit of the immense potential of a brain. Thank you very much.
Hope some neural connections happened in between during my talk.
Which affects our brain functioning. And the second thing that every one of us, we should understand this neurosciences for the what has been implemented by NCI should not be taken as a burden कि NCI को तो कुछ लगता है और ऐसे पढ़ाओ ऐसे करो, but this is basically science is behind the learning. Thank you so much.
Thank you.